Welcome back to American Agenda. We're keeping track of the first family's condition today after President Trump announced that he and First Lady Melania tested positive for COVID. And we have already seen immediate impact from that announcement in social media, for instance, in the Trump campaign, in the economy. The markets, in fact, they fell early on today, down a little bit now. But the House passed a $2.2 trillion stimulus bill. That happened yesterday. A lot is happening all at once.
Yeah, everything is impacted all the way down. Here to comment on it is our A-plus panel for the day. We have one person so far. She's the president of Walser Wealth Management and a tax attorney, Rebecca Walser. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I would like to start with you a question that I'd actually asked the guest in our last segment. If this becomes a worst-case scenario and if the vice president has to take over, what will the impact be to the markets and the economy if that has to happen?
We'd have to go back and look at Governor Pence's record as a governor, Vice President Pence's record as a governor of the state of Indiana, and really understand his economic policies. But I believe that he's as pro-growth, low restrictions, deregulation as President Trump is. And I would imagine that under President Pence, we would really continue along with Trump's economic policies and beliefs about the free market and the expansion of opportunities with low taxes and those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca, do you think that that Wall Street has priced in a Biden win, depending upon all those polls we've seen where the former vice president is ahead? Or do you think it's still trying to assess who's going to win this?
Yeah, I don't think that Wall Street has priced in a Biden win yet. And I don't know that they will. I think the next 10 days are our crucial 10 days to see how President Trump fares. I mean, obviously, Godspeed to him and Melania. And I hope this is the best hydrochloroquine testimony that we ever hear, that he took it and he's fine in a couple of days and everything's back to normal. But this is, I can't imagine the year that we've had. I sometimes itemize in my head everything that's happened, and this is just one more thing that's happening. And I think that we'll get through it as a nation. Obviously, we wish absolutely the best for him and his family. But the economy needs a President Trump, and that's just the facts. Biden's policies will destroy the economy, and very quickly in short order. He's already said he will repeal President Trump's tax reform of 2018. He's already said he will raise taxes on corporations. That means less investment. That's the last thing you want to do on a struggling economy when we've been shut down since March with the coronavirus. So President Biden is not the president that's going to get us through to 2021. And it is not something that I think that the market has priced in. I think the market freaked out this morning because they're not pricing in a Biden presidency at this point.
Interesting. Well, now I think we do have the other half of the panel, the CEO of Kingsbridge Strategies, Thomas Keogh. Thank you for joining us. We're glad we could get you connected there.
Good afternoon. How are you? Hi, Bob.
Doing great. Let's talk a little bit more. You were referencing policies and any policy changes. And what we were just talking about was any policy changes with a Biden presidency and if those have been worked in.
Into the market, I think the world markets are in shock right now as, the news that President Trump and his wife have tested positive. And I don't think anything else is really baked into anything right now. I think the stories coming out of Washington that Nancy Pelosi, she's scratching her head trying to figure this all out now. Does it favor her or hurt her? There she is. So she's as cagey as a mouse, this woman. And until she figures out how the Trump story plays plus a negative to what her narrative, nothing's going to happen with the stimulus package either.
Well, that's an interesting, because I was going to ask you about that. And first of all, if you know anything, I know you're well connected. If you know anything about what's going on in the White House, please share with us. But Nancy Pelosi was speaking today as if it's more likely she said the dynamic has changed. Now, I don't know if that's her way of pressuring the Republicans, but there are some on Wall Street that think that this may make a stimulus plan more possible, even though they may have to come down of where they are as far as the number, Thomas.
Bob, I was just down in D.C. for 4 days and just came back and met with some of the officials in the administration, and that's what my company does. We represent people and lobby for them, and that's what I was down doing. And the dynamic has changed because the president has COVID. That's the change in the dynamic now. He is now, because he's a master at dominating the media cycle, he's taken over the worldwide media cycle. I mean, Putin's sending him bouquets. He's getting bouquets from all the world leaders. And, this is, look, he's the president of the United States. So she hasn't figured this out yet. She knows he's the president of the United States. She hasn't figured out how this impacts our narrative, all the House races, all the Senate races, all the state legislative races. And until she figures it out, it'll take her over the weekend. That's how the dynamic has changed.
I want to know, I want to ask you, either one of you, and you as well, Bob, in terms of the president recovering from this, because that's what we believe that he will do. I mean, he'll come out of this stronger and healthier. Yeah. And will that provide a shot of energy into the economy, the markets, everything?
I think it will, but Pelosi hasn't figured out how that. She's way in the equation now. Until she figures it out, she's not going to reveal all of her cards.
And
she's
Rebecca,
one of the most clever card players.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Rebecca. Sorry we ran out of time here, but we appreciate both of you being here, Rebecca and Thomas. Always a pleasure talking to both of you. We've got more.